Hello my friends, and welcome to the 6th annual Holiday in the Park here at Six Flags Great Adventure. It's a little chilly, it's gonna get chillier here, but I'm really looking forward to this. There wasn't a guide map when I entered the park, but I did find a digital copy which indicated that there are 14 different illuminated areas to explore. There wasn't any words on the entertainment that's happening, but the question that I get asked most is, are all the rides open? No, they are not. They have closed the area with El Toro, which sadly was closed early for the season, but normally for Holiday in the Park it is closed. In addition, Kingda Ka, Bizarro, and the Mine Train are all closed. And then I do believe that the Sky Ride is still open, which I would highly recommend doing if you dress warmly, because it does get cold up there. It does offer some really nice views of all the lights. But anyway, I invite you to join me. Let's go check this out. I'm looking forward to when this tree lights up. It's always a lot of fun. They do actually do like a mini little show with all the lights and put it to music. But the interesting thing that I saw here was that they're doing pictures with Santa that have to have a reservation. And I was wondering how exactly that's going to work. And I read the fine print here. It says, social distancing guidelines will be strictly followed. Santa will be wearing a mask at all times. And Santa and his guests will be separated by a clear plexiglass safety shield at all times. Isn't that something? I'm not quite sure. I don't have any real interest in doing this, but just want to let you know that it's a thing. As I'm walking around here, I'm right in front of the big wheel, and I see that they do have 2 of these little s'more stations going, but I'm actually trying to make my way over to Movie Town to see what they ended up doing with that area where the Batmobile was. I wasn't sure if these characters were going to be back, but they normally had a Snow Queen and Snow King meeting and greeting, and it looks like indeed the Snow Queen is back. She's kind of roped off here. And I'm glad that they found a way to make this work, even though I had no idea whether or not they were actually going to go through with it. As I make my way further into the park here, Holiday Craze Mirror Maze is what replaced Reflections of the Dead. And it doesn't look like it's included if you are a member or pass holder. You do get a tiny discount. Hopefully I can check this out one of these days and report back to you how it is. But if you did Reflections of the Dead, it's going to be a similar experience, just less scary and more jolly. It doesn't look like the reindeer barn is open just yet. Hopefully that'll be open and we can circle back and check that out when it gets darker. And then across the way here, this used to be the place where you would visit Santa and do the meet and greet there, but they have moved them over to the catering area, which they've rebranded the Jolly Jamboree. Now I was wondering, across the way here from Granny's Kitchen, they used to have a tent and more indoor space set up, but they did indeed set up the Poinsettia Princess's meet and greet location here. Interested to see what this looks like at night, but I was mostly curious what they did with the outdoor seating area, and it seems like they just reduced it. So I just made it here in front of Batman the Ride, and yeah, that stage, I think it was remnants of HallowFest, I guess, where they put that big inflatable clown. Because right now they have put in the evergreen tree, and there is royalty herself, the Evergreen Queen, meeting and greeting, waving to the guests. But they do have her socially distanced, and don't have it in the shot, but she is indeed wearing a mask. So I just stepped inside to the catering area, now known as Jolly Jamboree. They have some food trucks, the s'mores locations, and a whole bunch of little other things here, but I think it's mostly food trucks. They do have the Holiday Spirits, the little mini bar location, which I still think they have a version of over at the by the Joker area there, the Merry or Holiday Market. Another little shop here. I wonder what this was. That's kind of fun. I found the location here where they have photos with Santa. It is indeed. Oh, there's Mrs. Claus. Hi. So cool. So they have this giant Holiday in the Park thing with the plexiglass, and you talk to him from there, and he's not wearing a mask. Interesting. So I guess he's safe in there, right? That's good. Very cool. That came out not so bad. At least the kids can see Santa, right? So I'm way back here because I just wanted to highlight the holiday feast. It looks like there is a please wait to be seated thing sign right to the right there. And does that mean they have like indoor dining of some kind? Interesting. So it is a meal plus $2 or $17.99 for the holiday feast. Wow. Interesting. So it's like a proper little sit down area. That is interesting. I wonder what the capacity is like on that. but it's here, way at the back. But I think that's going to do it here for the Jolly Jamboree area. So I apologize that this feels a little unprepared. It was literally because there wasn't that much information put out about the event, so that I kind of had an idea already going into it, which is bad that I am here and still just kind of trying to figure it out, whereas people at home probably are still trying to mull over whether or not they're going to come here and visit. So I will say this. There's a lot of food places, a lot of the s'mores and all of that stuff. They have given them a little overlay, changed up the food offerings. That stuff you can find on the app at least. There is that whole additional area for the catering that's become a separate thing. I think that the best thing to do, the vibes are good right now, but they're gonna get even better once it gets dark and all the lights come on. So I think we're probably gonna fast forward to that. So isn't anything to do but do a silly transition. So I'll be right with you. So it's not nighttime yet, but we're getting there. But I came over to the other side of the park here to see what they had. And they do have all the lights that are backed by Superman and Green Lantern. But I found some entertainment behind me and Jack Frost. There's a yo-yo, as a yo-yoist, I guess. I don't know what the word is. But he is roaming entertainment, kind of where the juggler was, if you remember the juggler from HallowFest. That is so cool. Can any of you guys do yo-yo stuff, yo-yo tricks? I can barely walk the dog or do like anything like that. He's just casually juggling them. Oh, he's pulled out butterfly now. I think that's what it's called. Oh man, here comes the string tricks. Woo! So that was pretty cool. I haven't seen anything like that. I can't imagine. His hands must be cold. I wonder if he's going to be wearing gloves later. But anyway, I think now I'm starting to see some of the lights come on. It's not going to be very long until we can start touring these 14 different areas. So let's cut right to that. So the sun is mostly down and should make the lights easy to see. I didn't notice that this became a member services area, but the lights here in the Jolly Jamboree look pretty nice. We're going to keep on walking through here, but I wanted to start here since it's kind of like the back end of the park, so to speak. Santa is still back there meeting and greeting. He's hard at work, making sure all the kids get to tell him what they want. It remains to be seen if the food trucks that are here are only here for the Wine Fest that's happening only opening weekend, or if they will be here in consecutive weeks. But I don't know what type of light this is called, the one that's going across the path, but it looks amazing. Super zen. And we're walking out of this area. We will soon be entering the Holiday Heroes area, which is basically the area around Hall of Justice, heading over towards Wonder Woman. Kind of funny that they finally decided to light up Cyborg to just kind of add to the ambiance here. And then there's all these wonderful lights here. And then in the back you can see Wonder Woman's going. But not too many lights, not too crazy with the lights in this Holiday Heroes section. I kind of wish that they had done something, maybe replace that little area in front of the Hall of Justice or something. There is a big old space here. And unfortunately, there's that theater that won't be in use this season. Last year they had Frost in there and it was quite amazing. Now crossing over the Metro Narrows Bridge, which is nicely lit up, but nothing can compete with Wonder Woman. I see my camera exposure going a little wacky there because of it. So this area is supposed to be called Holiday Memories. I'm not quite sure. Maybe it's a little more obvious up here. So they have all these lights up here, and then, of course, that big, beautiful tree in the back. But this area isn't nearly as impressive as the areas towards the entrance of the park. Some nice holiday vibes here as Batman the Ride is going up its lift hill. It must be cold on that ride. It's dropped into the 40s, and I think it'll be in the 30s before this night is over. But some decorations, nothing crazy, just vibes really, mainly vibes. I'm heading towards now the Safari Kids area, which is being referred to now as Whimsical Wonderland. And it seems like, other than the fencing being decorated and this tree here where this fountain was, there's not too much going on here. But there is, again, mostly vibes. And then we're gonna head over to the Skull Mountain area there, which is now Poinsettia Place, if I remember. And they do have a little photo op here where you can take a selfie, emphasis on elf. So if you've made it this far, you know that I've been kind of winging it here, and it's not usual for me. Thanks for making it this far. They have lights here, trees beside all of these, this walkway that goes by the Jersey Devil coaster, by the construction site. I really wonder what they'll do for that when it does open. Fright Fest is natural, right, for that area, but what will they do for this area for the holidays? That'll be peculiar, because I assume that it's going to be operating during this time. But this little walk is actually quite beautiful, quite nice, with the trees lining it and the sounds of roller coasters off in the distance. It's still very dark in this tornado, the Taz tornado area. They could use a little light there, but I just wanted to give a shout out to, what was that show? Buddy Saves Christmas. It was a nice little stage show, to be honest. It was cute, and it will be missed. So I just left the Safari Kids area, and I'm here at Poinsettia Peak, not place. And Skull Mountain is all illuminated. We have some lights strung up around the sky ride, which has a pretty decent line. And then there's this big, beautiful tree surrounded by more red lights. And then we're gonna head off straight ahead towards the North Pole area, which is where Santa formerly spent most of his time. I'm right here in front of where Santa used to meet and greet. I'm just gonna give a quick little twirl here of the North Pole area, which unfortunately, because of that game, there's a lot more other types of light sources that you wouldn't expect, like that ride in the back there. But the other light, this is like your classic multicolored lights. So there's Santa himself strung up above Granny's kitchen. But other than that, I think it's time we head over this way towards Polar Point. Now this here might be my favorite little section of the park, Polar Point. You can see it right when you enter. It goes off to the right of the tree, and then it just continues on this way towards the Buccaneer, and then you can follow it around to the Joker and Harley Quinn Crazy Train. But these lights, there's just something about there's movement in them, and it just adds something to it. It really is nice. I think we're gonna keep on heading towards the tree into the Main Street area. So from Polar Point, we have reached Main Street Christmas, which is a super nice little area. It's super mellow. I really like this. And then obviously at the end of it, we have the tree, which I believe every half hour there will be a nice little show going on with all those lights on there. Just walked over to the opposite side of the Christmas tree here, and we're going to be heading to Holly Jolly Holiday and the Merry Marketplace. So I just made it here in front of the Joker to the Holly Jolly Christmas, which appears to just be Santa here and these trees, but otherwise there's not much else going on. So we're going to head over to the Merry Marketplace and get a quick tour of that. Now this looks like a fun little hangout area. They got the s'mores right in the middle. Back there they have a holiday spirits little mini bar and a little shop here. This was, I remember last year, a little bit more fleshed out, but I believe in order to spread people out, some of that made its way over to Jolly Jamboree. Now entering the Joy to the World area, which is on this path that we would normally have taken to the Lady of the Lake Scare Zone. But along the lake here, they just have some soothing music and some fun facts about Christmas, Hanukkah, and Kwanzaa. That is really cool. Then I think we're gonna finish this little section here with that archway in the back there. And here we are. How zen of it. Super cool. Definitely a cool little photo spot here. And the music and everything just makes this complete. I dig it. So this is why we couldn't see the people in the statues and a bunch of the scare actors towards the end. They were setting this up. All right, let's head on over to the next section. So unfortunately there's no temporary sign, but this area is being called Wild Lights National Park. And it looks pretty nice with that water tower all decorated here. So this area, this little nook, looks really cool. I like what they did with it. There's a couple other animals going that way. And then these trees, which it appears they never really... I saw them set this up, but now it's become like a kid's hangout. They've taken over. This is kind of a little bonus here, but they did decorate the building that the sky ride goes into. And then you can see off in the distance, those are the lights for El Toro and King Ka. But the rest of the park is closed. They have some fencing blocking that little area there. And then just the lights here. I'm just heading here now towards Snowman City, which is the Boardwalk area. I see Jack Frost is back there still meeting and greeting. And I think we're going to keep on going forward here towards Superman and Green Lantern, which is now the Deck the Halls area. They have a couple of nice photo ops here. And then, I don't know how you do with your exposure, but there's a bunch of different props here that are all set up for you to take photos in front of. Let's go take a look. Now, kind of as expected, there isn't any sort of like dance party or DJ or anything like that. Oh, this one's not on. Some presents there in that big present tree in the back. That looks really cool. And then there's some lights back there. So this little tree looks pretty awesome. But for the most part, it feels a little disorganized the way the props are just kind of just planted off to the sides here. But these lights look cool, and I appreciate that they have decorated Superman and Green Lantern signs. So here we are with Superman sign lit up in blue string lights, and then Green Lanterns doing the same in green. And then there's the green and blue everywhere. I wish that they had just pushed that a little harder, but I think we're going to be close to calling this. We're just going to walk through the remainder of the boardwalk and the peppermint area. All right, here we are at the boardwalk, which doesn't have anything to it light-wise. They do have some of these little trees off to the side here, but all of these prizes, and I believe majority of the games, have received some sort of little overlay to their theming. So, for example, I'm looking around the Bottle Bash. You can get a gigantic candy cane now. There's a stocking stuffer surprise where you pick a stocking and then the prize will be indicated inside, I guess. The usual like water gun race is now the Santa chimney race. And then I believe, I just passed another one where you toss something there, and that's become holiday themed as well. Then, saving this area for last here, just showcasing what they've done with the lights to the carousel is pretty awesome. So they have like twinkling lights on each of the columns, then patterns in all of these hanging lights, and then there's the lights on the carousel itself. It's really cool. Oh, and then there is an holiday overlay to the teacups back here where they play some holiday music as you spin, and it's called the Gingerbread Twist. They had a similar overlay for HallowFest, I forget the name, but they did play like spooky music while you were riding. It's just a nice touch here. This is really the centerpiece of it all, though. And right here next to the carousel, this area was not in the guide map that I found online. And I'll remind you, there were no guide maps at the front of the park here today. But in years past, this was some sort of peppermint lane or peppermint place or something like that. They even have like a big spinning piece of peppermint on the Houdini building. So it's a strange omission, I think, but still, this area is pretty cool. And then that sends us back to the fountain, or to the tree, and that'll complete our tour. All right, my friends, I think that's gonna do it for me here today, or tonight. I'm gonna go try to get some other things done here, explore what I can, maybe find some more entertainment, because I did not find as much as I was hoping to. However, the vibes are here and well alive of the holidays. If you're trying to get that in your life, highly recommend it. The crowds weren't too bad today. They seem like they had to bring down the amount of people that they're allowing in the park because parts of the park are closed, so that's good. I'll repeat that there are some rides that are closed, namely some of the big coasters, El Toro, Kingda Ka, Bizarro, and the Mine Train. But all that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you next time, and I hope you go make your own adventure. Bye.